Hey everybody, it's Jason again, coming to you from the 3D Printing Corner. This is going to be our next installment of filament reviews. So today what we're going to be doing is Hatchbox PETG. I was in debate whether I was going to do this one or not, because it kind of falls outside of my parameters for a budget filament. It runs about $22 on Amazon. This particular box I actually did pick up for $18 on a sale on Amazon. So it kind of falls just slightly outside, but for PETG, which generally runs a little more expensive than PLA, it is a good price. So I thought it's kind of a budget, it's a budget PETG. So, like I said, this is Hatchbox PETG. It's their red. It comes in a very nice box. It comes sealed, vacuum sealed, desiccant. Measures incredibly accurate. It's 1.75 millimeter, and it runs through my Monoprice Maker Select like a dream. Have not had a single jam in. I mean, you can see here I've used a pretty good amount of the roll. These come as a nice full roll. It's a nice spool, and I've used a pretty good amount of it, and I have not had a single jam with this PETG at all. This was the first PETG I used. Took a little bit of tuning in, but once I figured out what my PETG settings were, it printed fine. It printed at 245 degrees, which based on other PETGs I've used since, it's a little hotter. Most of my PETGs are 230 to 235. So this one's going to cause you some troubles if you have a PTFE tube rather than an all-metal hot end. For those of you that don't know, inside your hot end here is a small tube that guides the filament down into the nozzle. If that tube is made out of PTFE, which is a plastic, if it is left at a hot temperature, generally over 240 degrees for long periods of time, it'll start to deform. You get much hotter than that 245 degrees for any period in time, and it actually can start to outgas some dangerous gases. It would be a small amount. It's up to you whether it's worth it or not. I don't personally want anything. I don't have a lot of ventilation here in the corner, so I don't want anything outgassing into my room, which is why I went to an all-metal hot end, so I don't need to worry about that. Now, as for the print. The print, actually, you can see here, it looks quite nice. It's a nice shiny PETG. It prints a little stringy, which PETG does, but even in comparison to other PETGs I've printed with, it's a little more stringy than those. It's nothing that can't be really easily cleaned up. I mean, my strings are coming in, you can't even see them there, but my strings are coming in here in between the lettering, and it's okay. It could be really easily cleaned up, but like I said, it's a little more stringy than some of the other PETGs that I have printed with. The detail is okay. The layer lines they're pretty rough. There's some bumpiness when you rub your finger around here in the divot portion of my coin. It's not bad, it's just not good. The detail is actually fantastic. The lettering is incredibly crisp. I mean, you can see very clearly the letters came out quite nice. Even the first layer, you can see here, the very first, it's very smooth. It goes down on the bed very nicely. I did print it on about a 70-degree bed, and it sticks. It sticks very hard down to that 70-degree bed. All in all, I would say this one is an average mid-grade PETG. It's not spectacular. It's not bad. For the price of it, I have gotten other PETGs that print better at a better price. So that said, I'm hesitant to say this one is a bust. It's not a bust. It does what it's supposed to do. It prints okay. If it's what you can get your hands on, it'll work. But I also wouldn't call it a budget. Like I said, it does regular price run slightly over my $20 budget that I set up. So it's not really a budget either. It kind of falls in the middle. I would classify it as if it's what you can get, it'll work. But for that same price, you can get some that work better, such as Inland's PETG works really nicely. There are other ones that are better at that price. So I would lean probably a little more towards bust. If it was lower in price, let's say it was running at $15 for a kilogram, then it would be a fantastic budget. But it's not. Like I said, regular price on it is $22. I got this one for, I believe it was $18.50 on a sale on Amazon. At that price, it needs to be a little better. So I think it has to lean towards bust. So that's going to be the end of this particular review. Our next one that we're going to be talking about probably Tuesday is going to be this gray from 3D Solutech. That's one I've seen a lot of questions on the forum, and that's one that can get quite cheap sometimes. So, is it any good? Is it budget, or is it bust? We'll find out here on Tuesday. Thanks for stopping in. I'm Jason. This is the 3D Printing Corner, and we will see y'all in a couple of days.